Welcome to the Alkalign Lifestyle School. I'm your host and guide today, Fidelis II. I'll be talking to you guys today about how exercise positively improves your sexual energy. So now, I'll get right to it. There was a study that was done by Herbenek and colleagues at Indiana University, and they published it in the Journal of Sexual and Relationship Therapy on 370 women aged 18 to 63. It showed that not infrequently, it took only 5 weeks to recruit these women, 370 women. Women experienced orgasms, 124 women, or sexual pleasure, 246 women, while exercising. Yeah, now let me get even more specific. The exercises that they were doing. Exercise-induced orgasms were triggered by abdominal muscle exercises, 51.4%, weightlifting, 26.5%, yoga, 20%, bicycling, 15.8%, running, 13.2%, walking or hiking, 9.6%, and climbing poles or ropes. So in the interview, Herbenek called it coregasm, the orgasm associated with doing core exercises. So Herbenek mentions that about 40% of women had experienced exercise-induced orgasms or exercise-induced sexual pleasure more than 10 times. Also, sexual thoughts or fantasy were only rarely associated with the exercise-induced orgasms, meaning that the physical exercise activity by itself induced sexual pleasure. So let me express to you guys what this means. This means that just by you exercising, women, please take this information and say, get up off the couch, put the show down, turn the TV off, turn everything off, because you're demanding pleasure, but you need to put the work in to get this pleasure. You can get on the floor right now and get a 6-minute ab program, and all you gotta do is sit up. That's all you gotta do. That's the best ab exercise I've ever seen, a sit up. But let's really get into this, why this really works. So if you look at, there's 3 distinct things that I take from this study that come out. And I, first off, want to talk about the mitochondria. And I'll talk to you also about sexual potency and about your lifestyle. But number 1, what exercise does is it improves the functions of mitochondria to create energy. There's too many people who don't understand the connection and the correlation between exercise and your mitochondria. So what is your mitochondria? It is basically the most important organelle inside your body. And what this does is, it's the organ with the highest energy metabolism rate. So the heart has the highest mitochondria concentration of any body tissue, all right? So what mitochondria are, they're the prime source of energy for all the plant and animal cells. They are prime. They are the ones that basically convert what you put in into ATP, adenosine triphosphate. The issue and the reason why women especially, I believe it's due to lifestyle. I believe it's due to lifestyle, and I believe it's due to diet choices, food choices. So lifestyle, specifically diet choices. These are the causes that why women aren't getting the mitochondria to create energy. They're attempting to cheat themselves to drink it through caffeine, to drink it to protein shakes or energy drinks. They're attempting to cheat themselves and create artificial energy that does not exist. They're just trying to create it. And they aren't going to the natural order of how to actually get it done by actually moving your body. You were given a body that needs to move. And so you begin to stay stagnant, thinking that that's what you're supposed to do. It's not gonna work. So the main thing, the main issue that I also see women with is you see these huge bulges in their sacral area, in their gut area. They have awful gut health. And so what you just heard from this study was 51.4% of the 370 women experienced some sort of sexual pleasure called a coregasm. This is sexual potency. meaning the ability to actually engage in sexual intercourse. But you don't have no partner. You're laying on your back. You're not doing any of that. You're actually going through a process of improving yourself and helping yourself just by you focusing on your core abdominal exercise. So let me tell you just how powerful the information that you're not getting actually is. You're going to go choose an energy drink. You're going to go choose a Red Bull or a C4 or a Bang or whatever they call the stuff at the gym nowadays. Or you're going to go take a protein shake. Or you're going to go to drink some wine or go to happy hour or eat after hours or eat late. Just think about what's going on. You can go to create your own energy just by moving your body. Have a simple plan, all right? Have a simple plan every single week. Get your exercise done, but essentially, you would rather distance yourself from that. So all I'm telling you is, look at your lifestyle. Look at your diet choices. There's a reason why you don't have any sexual energy. There's a reason why your libido is low. You're probably just not moving enough. So you ever heard those stories where they say, okay, the woman starts to go to the gym again, and all of a sudden she's doing a fitness show. She meets a man, he comes, to train her or whatever, or vice versa. The man goes to the gym, he meets the lady, and they begin to train. You don't understand energy? This person's energy field is now being increased just because they're going to do some physical exercise, some physical movement. So they don't want to sit home and watch a show. They want to get up and go move themselves. They want to get up and go put some pressure on themselves. You know why? It feels good. So where I see partnerships that fail, it's because somebody stops moving. Yeah, you've seen a study that said that men and women above 30 years old, there's like this huge dramatic drop off from people who sprint after 30 years old. You just stop moving. You become this sedentary lifestyle, sitting at a desk at a computer screen person, and you don't understand that this is causing you to be even sicker. You have to get up and work yourself. Get up and work on yourself, like physically, work on yourself. So you don't get any enlightenment if your body can't handle it. You don't get any enlightenment of any kind. You can cleanse yourself all day long. You can keep on going through cleanses after cleanses after cleanses. If you don't actually move the lymph, which is essentially the waste and the material and the nutrients and the minerals, and it recycles itself from down, up, down, up, down, up. It keeps on going. So you see all these things, you have the lymphatic massage and lymphatic drainage this, and no, you don't need to do all this stuff. You just need to get moving. Just get moving. You start to stand still the entire time and not move yourself. Your lymph is not going to move. Your lymph is not necessarily all waste production. Some of it's something that needs to be recycled back into you. It needs to go back. But if you've been eating processed crap, if you've been thinking bad thoughts, if you've been a negative person, a low vibration, you've probably created a chemical structure that is all waste and needs to get out. And this is like clear fluid that just needs to get out, and it just needs to move through your body. And it was supposed to be expressed out of you. So what I tell women especially, because they're the ones that not only you have the masculine side, which I call sexual potency, the ability to engage in the sexual act, but you have the feminine side, which is the orgasmic potency. And now, like I told you, you don't have to engage in an actual intercourse, as this study just showed. What this is saying is just by you improving circulation in sexual organs and bringing more blood to your ovaries, core area, stimulates the secretion of estrogens, the vagina, the clitoris, therefore bringing sexual arousal and pleasure. So they're just realizing that you don't have to go take a nitric oxide supplement. I used to take nitric oxide. I used to go to GNC all the time to go get all these different products to give me more oxygen. I had no idea why I thought that this was what I needed to help me to, have my blood vessels to dilate, to give me more oxygen inside my body. But it made no sense. All I had to do was stop being so acidic. So the first thing I had to do was change my diet. Once I went plant-based, all of a sudden, my oxygen levels were just tightened, increased. And I'm talking about infinitely increased. So I didn't have to go to take any supplements from the outside. I didn't require any testosterone shot. I didn't need any of that because I can sustain an erection just from what I was already doing, which is exercising, but without putting in the things that were blocking me, taking myself to sleep at a normal time. Exercise increases self-esteem. You need to have self-esteem for healthy sex. You cannot be a sexual being, be the erotic version of yourself, be the most heightened sexual being, and not have high self-esteem. So you must exercise. In addition to self-esteem, it shows that physical exercise has a neurogenic effect on the brain, creating more connections between neurons, leading to a better cognition and motor performance, and also has an anti-depression effect, which will make women more easily sexually aroused. You need to get moving. And many women reject the notion that they got to pick up something heavy. Not only that they got to get sprinting, that they got to get moving. They just don't do it. Exercise appears to have sexual benefits for both young women and perimenopausal women. And this is a research done on 214 perimenopausal women aged 40 to 55 years old. The women who are physically active have significantly less irritability, forgetfulness, headaches, vaginal dryness, and have more sexual desire than inactive women. And now, this is just a study that's showing you that it doesn't matter what the age is. But like I told you in the past, the issue is that because as you get up in age, you also get more dehydrated. When you're younger, men and women, both, when you first come out of the womb and you're a child, little infant, little toddler, you are hydrated to the max. You are close to 80%. You are water. You are water-based. But as you go through your entire lifestyle, all right, your diet choices, your lifestyle, this is the solute. Solute, you would say solute is, you can say food, beverage, okay? Food, beverage, and that's even like medicines that you've probably taken over time, all these different things, all right? Solute. This is also, you can relate this solute as plasma, which is like blood plasma. That's what plasma is talking about. Blood plasma. Now, blood plasma is 55% of your actual blood. So you have 55% of the actual blood. That's plasma. And now, what is plasma? 92% of that plasma is water, and then 8% is that food stuff, food and beverage. What does that mean? That means that if 99.999% of what's around you, these specks that's around you, this is also plasma, all right? This is also plasma. So the field, 99.999% of the field is plasma. This also goes into your body. So it's a reflection of what you got inside your body. Your world is different than my world. My world is different than somebody else's world. Everyone on this planet biologically is different. They have a different expression that they're expressing outwardly because of what they've put into their blood plasma. Women especially. Why would they target women? Because you can't create anything unless you have the women who carry the circle of life, the spheres that go into the embryo. It's a sphere. When you have an embryo, when you have an egg and you have a sperm that fertilizes the egg, you have spheres. It starts to separate. It starts to split, and it keeps splitting into fractals. This is how it works. You're a replica of everything. It's like a tree of life. It's coming from a woman. So all the women have to do is understand how powerful that they really are, take themselves a little bit more seriously, and stop living the garbage lifestyle. You need to live a lifestyle that's not only holistic and harmonious to what nature is, but you have to associate yourself with a circle of life. Then you'll realize. So all of this to say that your lifestyle choices, they're either improving the function of mitochondria or you're masking it, but you aren't even using it. Think about when you're drinking coffee or caffeine. You're getting artificial energy. Now, I'm not saying that you can't ever have any of it. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that if you put something in place of a natural order, you stop the natural function from occurring. You stop that function from occurring. And you decide whenever it's going to work or not by ingesting something. You're the one that's deciding when I'm gonna have energy or not. When I'm gonna be drained or not, it doesn't matter. You're changing up your actual clock, natural clock, that's in coherence with the actual earth. You're changing it. So caffeine does this, coffee does this, tea does this, because what it does is it dehydrates you, because the primary focus is the solute, not the solvent, which is the water, which is what we're talking about right now, because the water is the plasma. Think of the plasma as the experience that you're having, how you're speaking to your water, how you're treating your water. So going back to this, where we're basically saying that you can exercise your way to orgasmic potency. You can exercise your way to love. Why? Because when you exercise, you love yourself. When you move yourself, you love yourself. And the most important exercise that you can do, women especially, is a core exercise. Why is this the case? Because if you have your 7 chakras, you understand how chakras work, centers of energy work. You have the root at the bottom. So you have the root that's at the bottom. Then you have the sacral, then you have the solar plexus, then you have the heart, then you have the throat, then you have the third eye, and then you have the crown, which is actually above and out of your head. So you have all these that are going up, these dots, and it's supposed to be going up, the energy. If it stops right here, because you have the root, the sacral, and the gut, these are the energy consumers. They're consuming energy because they have something to do. They have something to generate. They need to consume what's going in and extract the energy that's coming inside your body so that your body can actually perform something. But if what you're putting in is bad, what you're putting in is processed, or is pharmaceutical, or is toxic to your actual system, it's going to then go up and project out a bad movie. So now you get this awful horror story that you're living because you're sending all this garbage that's not nutrient dense, it's not mineral filling for you. It's just sending a bad message. So now you got this film strip that's playing inside your mind, and you're living some nightmare that you created. But you're like in love with the nightmare because you keep on putting the same thing in. That's what the alcohol is doing. Alcohol is just poison. It's literally just poison. It goes into the solar plexus, which is the 12 cranial nerves, and goes all throughout your entire body, stopping you from seeing, stopping you from digesting, stopping you from moving. You want to put in a different set of chemicals through exercise. So again, core induced orgasms, or core orgasm. 51.4% of exercise-induced orgasms were triggered by abdominal muscle exercises, and 26.5% by weightlifting, and yoga 20%. One more thing, because it's not just women that can benefit from this, men can benefit from this too. Harvard research shows that among over 22,000 American men aged 40 to 75 years, men that exercise on a regular basis have less erectile dysfunction than men that don't exercise. Men who did 3 hours of rigorous physical activity per week were 20% less likely to develop erectile dysfunction than men who didn't exercise at all. Number 2. So reason number two of how exercise improves your sexual energy is it moves the lymph through your body to replace nutrients and also remove waste. And so what is lymph? Where's lymph come from? Lymph is basically the filtration that comes from your plasma. Again, the plasma universe theory. It's electric. So whenever you filter out all the minerals and nutrients that you essentially were using, not using, waste products from your cells, it's being filtered out from your plasma. So if your blood plasma is the reason, then you need to understand that what you're putting in needs to be moved throughout your entire body so that it can be replaced and then ushered out. So how your body does lymph is whenever you take anything inside your body, it going in, it cycles through. Your plasma is moving all the energy through your entire system, okay? Your brain gets 18 to 20% of the water that comes into your body. So already if you're dehydrated, your plasma can't move it because your plasma is the fourth state of matter. You have solid, you have liquid, you have gas. But when you add a little bit of heat to any of those, you get plasma, a split of positive and negative electrons. So essentially, those negative electrons, that becomes that blood plasma. Now, if you're going to add some heat, thankfully, you don't want to add heat with anger. You want to add heat with exercise. If you add heat with exercise, you're now improving the function of the mitochondria to create the energy that's also improving the cardiovascular system. So now cardiovascular system that's moving all of the lymph that's going back to the bottom, through the feet, all the way back through the head, and it's just cycling through the entire time. It's just filtering it out the entire time. You're just filtering out the entire time. And the stuff that doesn't belong there gets ushered out. Thankfully, it just goes. But that's why your systems have to be online. The lymphatic system is the one that returns, basically circulates all of the minerals, nutrients that you put into your body throughout your entire body. If you don't have anything to put inside of it, it doesn't have anything to rotate from bottom to top. So you have to move. You have to put some pressure, apply some pressure to get it to pump, to get it to move. And if you don't have any pressure that's being applied from you doing something, from you moving, from you stressing your body just a little bit. I'm not talking about stressing your body where it's like a bad stress. I'm talking about stressing your body where you're picking up something or maybe picking up yourself, okay? That's why I believe calisthenics are the best training protocol for anyone to start with is your own body weight. If you can't pick yourself up, you can't pick anything else on the outside up. So first of all, do calisthenics. And then once you do calisthenics, then you can focus on heavier weights. You can focus on things that will really build up your body because now you're already past that point. So just focus on moving in the first place, all right? Stretching it, strength through length. You got to get where you're not stagnant. You want to get to where you can pick yourself up and move yourself, but you want to get to where you can pick yourself up and move yourself according to your range of motion. And then you want to increase that range of motion because you have lymph nodes everywhere, all throughout your entire body. That's guiding all of the waste, all the nutrients, all the minerals to go back down and then back up throughout your entire body and then usher them out. Your kidney functions, your liver functions, your stomach functions, your gallbladder functions, your spleen that actually is a primary organ that's used in energy transfer. You see what I'm saying? Like you have to start to look at it from that perspective. So if you can't see yourself, all right, moving, then you can't see the lymph moving. Then you got to go get these massages that people have to come to try to move this stuff through on the outside because you can't do it from the inside out. You've been blocking and masking for so many years, again, based upon lifestyle choices. Most people have poop in their bellies, all right? That's sitting inside of their bellies. It's also lymph, that's fluid, that's not moving. So that fluid is just getting stuck. And they have to do something in order to get that thing moving. So that's another thing that people need to do is move themselves. And also this is a block that comes from mental, physical, psychological challenges. So exercise alone, just by you getting up to exercise, you become happier. You become stronger, more powerful, you become more positive, you just become a better person. Just move. Now, not only does the lymph move through your body to replace the nutrients and remove the waste products that came from the filtration of the plasma of your blood, all right? What it also does, lastly, and this is the most important thing, it increases your energy field by releasing happy chemicals into the blood plasma. When you exercise, you get the oxytocin, you get the human growth hormone, you also get the dopamine, you get a reward effect. You get these things that come from basis of exercise. And now you feel great about yourself. Now when you look in the mirror, this is improving your sexual energy 100%. Because you think about this. If you look at yourself and you say, okay, now all of a sudden, I can see myself with the life that I want, the lifestyle that I want, the person that I want. I'm being who I am. I'm doing it right now. I can see myself, I can feel myself doing it right now. oh man, you're not gonna be stopped. There's no limitation. But that's because you basically went and increased your own energy field, not because of something from the outside, a stimulant, something that you have to go to use. It's not about that. If you take a stimulant, if you take say you do a detox, which you should do every year, at least once a year, you should do a full-on detoxification process of some kind. And you should do it where it's the heightened level that replaces everything and like changing your oil. I would actually do it 4 times a year. I think that every quarter you should do it. Spring, summer, autumn, and winter. I believe you should do it every quarter. So every 3 months you should do a detox. And so the reason why is because each season, each change with the equinox, each change in the zodiac, each change in the stars, you are following along the zodiac all 12 months of the year. It's basically your 12 systems of the human body. So if you can focus on as above, so below, as within, so without, as this keeps changing, you can say it's 2 seasons, hot and cold. You can say it's 4 seasons, like I said, spring, summer, autumn, and winter. But whichever one that you choose, just make sure that you're going along with the stars, because you want to keep on clearing out what you've taken in, because you've taken a lot. You're taking a lot. You process a lot as you keep going out. You're processing a lot as you're moving yourself through the space. You're processing all the time. So by increasing your energy field and increasing happy chemicals into your blood plasma, you're changing your experience, because your plasma is a projection of the actual experience. It's just like the LCD display on your laptop, liquid crystal display. You are displaying. There used to be plasma, 2000s, I think there used to be plasma televisions. They used to be, but I think they were too expensive to make. So people, they gravitated towards, now you have like different types of TVs that are pretty cheap. And so now you can just go in and get a television for, 55 inches for $200 because they're just so cheap. But back then you used to have plasma television sets. You are seeing an experience outwardly. You're actually seeing an actual visual experience through plasma, through blood plasma. So if you can focus on the process, just the process of exercise, men, what exercise does for you is it widens the artery lumens. It's a process called vasodilation and creation of new blood vessels, a process called angiogenesis. Your arteries may widen in the penis, creating some kind of Viagra effect. That's what they call it. They call it the Viagra effect, meaning you have better erections. This is why men who exercise, who are fit over 40, fit over 30, because it's seen to be a thing to be fit over 30. It's seen to be a fit period, actually. But when you're fit, you can sustain your sexual potency longer and for many more years than a person who stops working themselves. And this is because you have a repression that comes in. Think of this as like a process of, you have like a string, right? Or like this is like a wave. It's like a constant wave, like your life. And you need to keep yourself in alignment with how the earth is going. And if you all of a sudden become stagnant and it starts to pass you by, you begin to die quicker. And so the way that you're supposed to keep yourself young is not only if you exercise. Meditation also helps you do it because you need to cap your DNA. Your DNA is capped by what's called telomeres, and it releases something that's called telomerase. You need to understand that in order for you to lengthen out your life span, you need to increase the telomerase, which increases, again, the DNA caps, the telomeres. By you exercising, by you improving cognitive function, not only does it increase your physical energy field, it increases the mental energy field in terms of your radio receiver, your transducer that's allowing you to take in information and download and receive things. These all get improved just by you focusing on exercising. So again, Men, you want the Viagra effect, the widening of your arteries, increasing the size of your penis, which I'm sure many men do want to do. They have supplements to do this. You can either be a slave to the supplement, or you can do it yourself. I prefer that you guys focus on doing it yourself. So not only can exercise help with erections, it can also help with premature ejaculation. So all you guys who can't keep it up for a long time, it's because you don't have enough energy, sexual energy. So premature ejaculation means that you don't have enough muscle tissue. The muscles and the tissues that you have, what does it actually do for you? So like, what do muscles actually do for you? They help you with mobility, stability, your posture, circulation, and pumping blood. This is the thing that comes from sexual energy, pumping blood. You need to have muscles in order to pump your blood. If you're not pumping your blood, your plasma, that's not moving the lymph throughout your entire body. So all of a sudden you become stagnant. You're gonna fall out. There won't be any sex. There won't be any eroticism. There won't be any intimacy. You're not gonna have any energy to have that. So women, you're not gonna have that, especially because it's targeting you, because you're the one that has a process in the solar plexus, in the sacral chakra area, digestion here, and then the plexus here. You have a process to keep. So it's vastly important that you keep this thing healthy and sharp. So you increase your energy field by releasing happy chemicals into your blood plasma. And again, this is basically creating orgasmic potency. So let me go back to the study, and the study again talks about the benefits. And so what this is saying is that women essentially who move their body, okay, with back and forth swinging movements also of the pelvis and trunk during vaginal intercourse, have a higher frequency of orgasm. So that's why you also do pelvic floor exercises and flexibility exercises that can increase sexual arousal and quality of sexual orgasms. Now you can also just do this by walking. Even walking will have a benefit on increasing the blood flow to your genitals. So the researchers at the University of Texas described that 20 minutes of exercise, walking or running on a treadmill, increases neurotransmitter secretion like epinephrine and norepinephrine, which in turn increase heart rate and blood flow in all organs, including the genitals. So it's simple. You can do 30 minutes a day. You can do some abs before you go to bed. You don't need to sit here to think that you got to go find some complicated way of doing something. But what I'm expressing to you is you got to move. You got to move because you aren't matching up the enlightenment with the physical body. You can't enlighten your cognitive functions and never touch your physical body. It doesn't make sense. You've got to actually upgrade the mental body with the physical body to create an enhanced spiritual body. You can't just work on your upper chakras where you focus on your heart and you're just Lucifer's light being that's always talking about, enlightenment of some kind and how wonderful it is and speaking positivity, but you never actually focus on the bottom, the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus. Yes, that may be on the opposite side. That may be a satanic being in a way, because your focus is on, your focus goes from the light to actual matter, to actual things, to actual material world. You have the light world, the material world. You have to be sitting right there in the center of it. That's what a great person is, neutral. Just like the pH has to be neutral. 0 to 14, you need to be right there in that 7.7.35. You need to be right there in that center aisle. That's what a great person is, neutral. You've got to focus on, again, exercise. So the study showed 370 women aged 18 through 63. And it showed that 124 of those women experienced orgasms or sexual pleasure, 246 women, while exercising. And exercise-induced orgasms were triggered by abdominal muscle exercises, 51.4%, weightlifting, 26.5%, yoga, 20%, bicycling, 15.8%, running, 13.2%, walking or hiking, 9.6%, and climbing poles or ropes. A core orgasm. about 40% of women had experienced exercise-induced orgasm or exercise-induced sexual pleasure more than 10 times. And you didn't even have to use your imagination. It all came based upon physical exercise. So if you're missing out on sexual pleasure, if you're not having enough sex, I'm telling y'all that the primary reason is because you're focusing on all this information. Information is great. You can go to like become an herbalist and all that. Great, fine. Do whatever you want, fine. It's perfect. But you need to move your body. You need to move your body. Create some stress, physical stress. Build some muscles. Because you need to use those muscles to get you to move the lift and move this waste outside of your body. Cut the coffee, cut the alcohol, okay? Increase the fruit, increase the vegetables, increase the whole foods, okay? Decrease the animal protein because you don't really need it, all right? It all comes from plants, okay? Increase that content that's coming into your body. I guarantee you're gonna feel completely different. But you need to start something. You need a Kickstarter, all right? So the first Kickstarter that I would say is a cleanse. Focus on cleansing, all right? I offer 2 herbal cellular cleanses, Awaken daytime, Replenish nighttime. Both of them have 17 alkalizing herbs and 12 mineral cell salts, 6 translucent metals going to replenish the overnight formula. And what you do is, under 60 days, you'll have a brand new gut microbiome. And you'll also cleanse your lymphatic system and lymphatic system. You just change up the program that's coming out of your own body. But you've got to get this thing moving so you can experience orgasmic potency, experience the love that's coming from the field all around you. All right, and also, if you guys want to get a heightened level of awareness and consciousness, you're in that space where now you're feeding, you're looking for information now to come to you so that you can improve yourself and improve your family. I offer a Become More Alkalign challenge at the end of every month, last week of every month. And also, if you're a high performance man or woman, you're looking for a hands-on approach, a more VIP approach, I offer a generational health program. So if this video resonated with you guys, and y'all feel like exercise has been a thing that's been limiting you from having a sexual connection from yourself and your partner, focus on it. Focus on this, guys. I put sample workouts on my website. So click the link and you can check on the philosophy. You can go click directly to our philosophy. There's a section, I believe it's the step number 7, and the philosophy is talking about strength through length. Click on that, you'll be able to go in and get a sample workout. It's a sample guide for you guys to just improve yourself. And yes, it's gonna have a lot of core movements inside of it because my goal is to get you to be more orgastic in terms of orgasmic potency. Just have the ability to surrender to love. So until next time,